At some point, when I realized I was seeing movies other parents weren't letting their children see, I asked my mom about it. She said, Quentin, I worry more about you watching the news. A movie's not going to hurt you. Right on, Connie. Ladies and gentlemen, mysteries, modifiers, welcome to the show. I am the anonymous librarian. You can call me out. Not that difficult, is it now? Here is my reading update for this week. I put the date on the video. You can look at it, what's standing on the video. What date is that, and you know when I read this. I know it's not the same when it came out. Never mind that. Who cares? I'm not going to release the stuff the same day for you. I'm not going to work extra for you. No. Appreciate that you're saying anything. Appreciate it. Hey, this week, last week's one went over half an hour. Unacceptable. This is supposed to be a quick reading update. It's not supposed to go long. This week, doing it in 15 minutes or less. 15 minutes or less. Let me show you I can. Let me show you I can be fast and say the stuff I need to say quickly and get it done. So let's just move on along. Let's not waste any time and start with what I've been reading, comics and manga for the week. Well, there was only one. I started it the day after, and I finished it yesterday, and I started the day after I did the last one of these videos. If that makes sense. Yeah, of course that makes sense. I said it, so it has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, it's because you're the problem. You're the fool. I am making sense. I know this. Whatever I say, I mean, even if I just make noises, it makes sense. If you can't interpret that, that is your problem. Go study something. Go study noises. Sure, the universities are teaching noises these days. Courses in noises. Never mind that. I only read a comic this week. I literally started it the day I shot the last video and finished it yesterday. Ta-da! Saga Volume 3. Let me hold this. Oh, so that's a big boy. It's so heavy. Look at that. It's a finger in the air because it's the first compendium. Yeah. All I can say is, well, I mean, I don't want to say too much about the ones I finished because obviously I'm talking about them in my wrap up that's coming later in the week. Itchy nose. Just that Saga is something special. It just is something special. It's like a combination of all my favorite things in storytelling. It's put together in one comic, and that is Saga. Awesome. And Ilana, I love Ilana. Ilana is my, if I had to have a fictional crush, it is Ilana, is number one, and her mother-in-law is number two. Don't judge. Nothing wrong with liking an older lady. Nothing wrong with being attracted to an older lady. Nothing. Especially when it's a badass older lady like this one. Hey, so, well, I can tell. What am I going to read? So I will be picking this up. Vinland Saga, Volume 3. Manga. Vinland Saga, Volume 3. I will be picking this up today. So I have nothing, I can't tell you anything about it because I haven't started yet. But I just want to say, this is what I'm going to read for the rest of the week. It will probably take me the whole week to finish this. They are quite big. And I still have to get other stuff in between as well. So yeah, excited for that. We're moving fast. Oh, so I only have 10 minutes left. Wow, how is that? Somebody's cheating me. I don't know, time goes faster when I'm doing these videos. It's like really evil. It's not fair. I don't know why it does this to me. And then people say videos are very long, but I shoot like 10 minutes. But for some reason it just goes long and stretches it out on its own. There's some weird psychonomic effect. Is that a thing? Psychonomic? I don't know. Well, if I said it, it's a thing. That's how it works. We all know this. Rick or Rick. You know you can't be wrong when you're drinking out of a pickle Rick cup. This is not a metaphor for making bad choices, okay? It is not a metaphor for making bad choices. Clearly? Thank you very much. Hey, let's move on. What was I reading in the non-fictions? Everybody's favorite thing, non-fiction. I did finish Botha Smiths and the First World War by Antonio Garcia and Ian van der Waag. I realized I didn't even say who wrote Saga or who wrote Vinland Saga. That's on me. Hey, so I did make one mistake today. One mistake. Everybody makes this mistake every now and then. If you're gonna hold that against me, then just look in the mirror. You've made so many mistakes today. I'm sure. You got up just 100 mistakes from the beginning. You guys are failures, mistake-ridden stuff, and now you want to judge me with the little splinter of a mistake while you've got like 10 beams up there in your eyes, just making mistakes left and right. Calm down. I did finish this. Very informative. The writing style was reasonably engaging for a non-fiction. I feel like the modern non-fiction writers, maybe it's, I don't know, probably not everybody, but they've realized, listen, if you want people to read our books, we need to make it engaging. Because there were some of the older times that like, yo, you will read that stuff and you will suffer through it, even though it's interesting. So I struggled less reading this than I thought I would. I really did. It went pretty far. I didn't wipe. That wasn't me wiping spittle off the book. Okay, I didn't spit on my own book. I did not. How dare you suggest such a thing? How dare you? Again, obviously I also don't want to talk more about that because I'm going to be talking about it in my wrap-up video, which is coming soon to a theater near you. Oh yeah, that's how big I'm going, man. I'm going IMAX. I am going IMAX. I don't know where you're going, but I'm going to IMAX. And after that, I picked up. I already read a little bit from this for you. Cinema Speculation by Mr. Quentin Tarantino. Oh no, Tarantino. What's that? Is that Italian? What type of cinema is Italian, Greek? I don't know. Cool, that's cool cinema by the way. Well, who doesn't know Tarantino? Why do I feel like this one's so small you can't even sit there? Big all the way, stretch it out. That's Pac-Man McQueen on the thing. Oh man, it's actually a struggle to not just blow through this. I'm at page 70, and if I wanted to, I could have been at page 200. But I'm trying to read because there's other stuff I need to read more. I have more time with my non-fictions. And they're not as packed as my other stuff for the month. And I'm Quentin Tarantino, he's not just a good scriptwriter. This is a good, what I love about this, it's kind of like, because it's non-fiction, it's in his voice, it's clearly Quentin's voice you're hearing. But it's like in between what you will hear him on podcasts or interviews say, how he speaks there, and then but still a bit crafted more, like in one of his scripts. It's like the best of both worlds of Quentin. You're really getting Quentin, but you're getting it like in the way he wants it exactly for you. It is so engaging. He is such a great writer, and it looks like there's no medium Quentin Tarantino won't excel at. I'm having a lot of fun with this. This is actually a book I'll keep wanting to, as much as I enjoy the other stuff. This one, just the way it's written and the information. And I'm gonna watch Bullet. Just because of this. I know about the movie Bullet. I was never that interested to see it. I thought, it's interesting. I might have wanted to watch it if it just somehow came into my orb, my atmosphere, my sphere of influence. I don't know. Now I'm gonna actually go out of my way to get Bullet to watch it. Because of what he wrote in here. It was so interesting. And then I read the Dirty Harry. Now I wanna watch the Dirty Harry. So, by the end of this, I'm going to want to watch every movie he probably talks about, even if he was hating on it. I don't know. I mean, yeah. We'll see. I think I'm going to get very far in it by next week. If I can be responsible. If I'm being irresponsible, I'm going to blaze through it and already be started for next week. I could finish this in 2 days easily if I wanted to. That's how much fun this is to read. And yeah. Quentin is just one of those fascinating guys, right? He's a great storyteller, and I was talking about the medium he works in and loves the most. Fascinating. So that was enough of the non-fiction. Let's move on to everybody's second favorite, mundane fiction. Mundane fiction. So non-fiction was everybody's favorite. Mundane fiction is everybody's second favorite. I've still just bulldozing my way through the Iliad. The Iliad. I am at page 336. There's 618, so I'm just over halfway. And yeah, Achilles is finally starting to do a bit more, although it's mostly just standing around because he's an asshole. Although when he explains his points, you kind of like, okay, yeah, I kind of get it, but then the other guys are like, nah, man, you're just leaving us out there to die. You're an asshole. And you're like, yeah, okay, they got more of a point maybe than you. Achilles, get your head in the game, man. Get your head in the game. It is something, what Alexander Pope was able to do translating this, it's just impressive. It's amazing. And what Homer was able to do in crafting this, the battles are insane, but the battles are like always written from, it feels like it jumps around between the characters a lot, and it does give you a little bit of a broad view, but most of the time you're in the thick of it with one or two characters, and the madness rush, and it jumps from the different characters. Sometimes you can lose easily, because there's also a poem and epic, but you feel how Homer was actually in the poem of all things, to craft this. Like it feels like you're there and seeing this insane stuff, and how the gods are helping out and prevent it, and just the back and forth, and then this it is more topsy-turvy than most modern day stories, which is crazy thinking how old this is. This is still it's still better than most stuff you will read today, and even like, yeah, so I mean, I probably have to go figure out how much of this Homer, what was the sources he was working from when he made this and stuff, and how much is actually known about it. I don't know. I mean, it's a long ass time ago. As long as, I mean, think about it. Most of the events in the Bible, especially in the latter part of the Old Testament and everything in the New Testament, was still years away from happening when this was written. Not when the events describing this happened, when this was written. That is insane when you think about it. Yeah, and it still lives up to it. Oh man, and you feel like maybe they should make a faithful anime adaptation of the Iliad. That would be so awesome, because it feels like an anime. The craziness of an over-the-top anime like Jujutsu Kaisen or Solo Leveling. It feels so much like that. And yeah, Demon Slayer. Think what's like the battles there at what's the one? Entertainment District, or the Shibuya incident in Jujutsu Kaisen. It feels a lot like that, and there's way more character development than you would think. It really goes into depth into these characters in a poem. It's amazing. But then, okay, it's a 600-page poem, so that should also not be that much of a surprise. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish that and pick anything else up this week. I'll be talking about the Iliad next week still, and maybe even the week after that. Who knows? But now let's go to our everybody's favorite, but also everybody's third favorite. That's why it's at the back. Let's talk fantasy and sci-fi. What have I been reading? I did finish Solo Leveling Volume 2. The quality in the writing already and the world itself from Volume 1 to Volume 2 is amazing. How it broadens, brings in more characters, fills it more up. Just the fight sequences in this one. Oh, it's so great. And the way he describes it, you love it. I mean, Jinwoo and Jihu are just great characters. Love it. The humor also works a little bit better. It does everything the first volume did, but a little bit better, and it broadens the world a lot. Way more fascinating stuff. I really enjoyed this one. I'm really excited So this is still everything I kind of knew about the stuff that's gonna happen in here. There was like one thing that surprised me. It was done like there's a few things that are done different, but there was one thing that was it took a lot longer here than it took in the book, the event to play out, and I was surprised by that, and I enjoyed it actually. I enjoyed it a lot in this book. Maybe one of the few things that I enjoyed more in the book than in the show itself. Yeah, so this one, yeah, but okay, I have all the events here. Volume 3 I now have seen where Volume 3 goes. So in Volume 3 I've also seen all the events there. Volume 4, it looks like half of Volume 4, I know the events. It was like when Season 2 ended. And then I will finally be able to get into some new stuff that I've never experienced in any way, which I'm so excited for. Now, and the mystery of what is actually, like you're trying to figure out what is going on here, and that I'm really enjoying. I have my theories. We'll see how it pans out, if any of my theories pans out. But then after that, I picked up my first fantasy read for the month of May, and my second South African fantasy read of the year, Legacies of Obsidian. This cover is just, I have to go closer to this. This Daniel Hugo cover is amazing. Again, go follow Daniel Hugo on Daniel Hugo Illustrations on Instagram. He is one of the best artists working out there in comic books and just in art in general. Unbelievable. Look at that. Now, looking at this cover, I was expecting like high epic fantasy, like giant world, many characters, just great, epic fantasy. And instead, that's not what we're getting. This is the hook to get you in. The story doesn't have a natural hook like a lot of stories try to hook you early on in. This is a slow burn. Of all things, which is surprising me, it's quite a slow burn book. And it's focusing more on a coming of age of a character, Leonard, who is going to be the future king one day. And it starts with, I'm 3 chapters in. A decent amount. It's like 128, so I'm about a quarter into the book. So the chapters are quite long. And what is interesting, and it jumps around. So far, there's been time jumps during each one. The first one, he was 8 years old. The second one, he was 13. The third one, he is 16. I don't think I'm spoiling anything there. So it's kind of giving this character study and how he is changing. And it focuses a lot on him, especially in the beginning. And I was like, the writing, it's not anything special. It is effective. It is there to tell the story. And it's really good writing. Noreen Dorman is an editor. Noreen Dorman and Katrina Ross are both also editors. And you could see that these are written by editors because they're like, there's not really fluff. They only put something if they want to add color, just for a bit more color of the world. But it's not in unnecessary words and sentences. Only maybe here and there you can pull out one, but generally it's well written, well crafted. It's nothing special, it's no purple prose, it doesn't blow you away, but it does the job. It's effective in doing the job. And I find myself like, am I enjoying this? The writing is good, so I don't mind reading it, but am I actually enjoying it? And it's strange, it's like, it's slowly, as it's a slow burn, it slowly pulls you in. It doesn't try to wow you into, let me show you this shiny thing. Now come, no, it's like, let me introduce you to these characters. Let me pull you in slowly. And as I was going, 3 days, I'm in 128. By my standards, I only had to be in 30 pages. Especially yesterday, I read a lot. The more I read, the more I get engaged. And the more there's like little mysteries starting to be revealed. And one of the big enemies is like you only really start, you hear a little about them in chapter 2, not about them in chapter 1, and then in chapter 3 they come to the forefront. It's like this is also that you will see a lot of nods to A Song of Ice and Fire, but it's not as. I think maybe you could say it might be A Song of Ice and Fire, as if it was more in the young adult genre, and if it only followed one character, just a single character. And it's I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this book at the end, but at this point that's the thing where it just slowly reveals what, and it's like, what, did I read that? Oh, that's very interesting how it's revealing this world, and how this world becomes more fascinating as you go deeper in. It's like these writers are they're not hasty to grab you. They want to like, no, let me introduce you to these characters. Let you get used to this character. Let me show you. You might not like everything about them, but let me get you used to. Let you get you into your mind, and then start unveiling the world around them and showing you things. It doesn't tell you. It's and it brings this like this mystery and it just pulls you in. And it's now I feel I'm invested now. I'm actually invested to find out how this is gonna end. Like, and that is interesting for me. The book is not what I was expecting, and now I'm reading something different than I was expecting, and I'm finding it very fascinating. I said I was going to do this in 15 minutes. I'm already over 20 minutes. But I mean, I had a lot to say about it. Interesting. I think, I don't think I'll finish with it this week, but I think I will get close, and I think I'll have a lot more thoughts and see if it keeps on this trajectory, then it might actually be something really special. I would just keep sucking you in and just creating the world and just revealing more of the world. And very different from the fantasy I usually read. Like the big, like the Song of Ice and Fire, and even the bam 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 of solo leveling. But this is taking its time, telling you a story, getting a grip, revealing stuff like yeah. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Like even like the Legacies of Obsidian, I still have no idea what the title is referring to, and I am 128. I've heard there's been a little bit mention of Obsidian in two different aspects so far, and I'm still trying to see how that's going to work into this. And what is it? I think that's a reveals at some point. So that is fascinating for me. Yeah, and I think I know what these two characters are, and I'm definitely not at that scene yet. And that is gonna give me. Is that really gonna happen? That's gonna make me sad. Yeah. But I think I might be close to the scene, depending on the things I read. This is interesting. This is very, very interesting. I am curious to see where it goes. I am really not sure. And yeah, I am. And it's got enough little mysteries put in as it reveals to keep you engaged and like curious. A very interesting, very, very interesting way. I've never read anything quite done in this specific way. It's like a little bit of younger and then a little bit of the older way for people to write, and it feels, I will say this, it feels in some ways nothing they're doing is necessarily unique. I wouldn't say that. You will recognize things from other places, but what I do find is like the way they are like it does feel like almost a mix of a bunch of, it's like we're taking a bit from the epic fantasy, we're taking a chunk from the coming of age, the young character, some young adult in here, but with some grim aspects to it. I will say this, I am 120 and I have no idea where this is going. There might be some things, I saw that coming. But at this point, I am not sure where this book is going and what is that. And that is something. That has to be something. Yeah. I think at the very least, I expect that this is probably going to be my favorite South African fantasy that I've ever written by the time it's done. But I mean, I'm not far enough yet to know that for sure. So yeah, that is my that is my 2 cents, my 5 cents. My 100 cents. Let's see how far I get. Let's see what I have to say next week about it. Hey, and that's it. That's all I needed to talk to you about this week. Look out for my wrap-up video coming, I guess, 2 days from when this one drops. I'll be filming that tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love you. You guys love it when I sing like, I love you tomorrow. Totally. Now I'm Mr. Charisma. Oh, now let me know. Okay. Now I'm Mr. Charisma. Pablo Escobar. My friends all saying, shut up, Jenny. Just get in the car. That's been stuck in my head because of a reel I saw on the gram. Why am I on the gram? I don't know. I shouldn't be on the gram. I should be reading, which is also what I'm not doing now while I'm filming this. I want to be reading. So let's quit it. Let's say goodbye. I am the anonymous librarian. You can call me Al. If you don't call me at all, that's fine. Give me a comment. What are you reading? What do you think about the stuff I'm reading? Have you read any of this? Are you excited about Legacies of Obsidian? You want to see? Am I teasing you with Legacies of Obsidian? Does it sound interesting? Does it not sound interesting? Let's place your bets. Place your bets. Who thinks next week I'm going to still be loving it, or who thinks I'm going to be hating it? What is going to be the answer? Hey guys, let's get out of here. I have a lot of reading to do this week. A lot, way too much. Remember, I still want to read A Storm of Swords this month. It's like far over 1,000 words. Bye. I have work to do.